going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School. And I'm about to go to bed pretty soon, but I thought that it would be fun to finish the night with an interesting conversation because I really wanted to get you guys' perspective on this. And we can get started in 1 second. Tell me if you are aware of what happened this week with the MSNBC reporter who allegedly used the racial slur on Kobe Bryant. Let me know if you saw that go down. Just say something in the chat. Give me a yes or no if you saw what happened, where there was a lady, a white lady, who basically said some stuff. Who basically had a slip on the air that was really bad. Probably one of the worst news experiences that I've ever seen. I've been watching the news for a while, and I've never seen anybody really fuck up like that. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but there was the white lady on MSNBC who basically said a word that sounded like it was the N word. Tell me if you saw that. Give me a yes or no if you saw what went down. It was really interesting to watch. I remember seeing it, and I remember thinking, wow. I just remember kind of being stunned because it was sort of weird because you were sort of just I didn't I just didn't know how to react. I mean, part of me wanted to be mad, but you just can't imagine somebody being that stupid, right? I think that's the thing that kept me from being mad is that I was like, yeah, I'm pissed at you right now, but you just threw your whole career in the garbage can, whether that was a mistake or not. So anyway, her name was Allison Morrow. Or Allison Morris, I believe that's her name. And she, has gotten a lot of backlash. She's probably cried a lot of Becky tears, and she's probably gotten pretty upset. I'm gonna bring her picture up on the screen. I'm gonna try to share the screen so you guys can see. If you're on Instagram, you can't see it, but just imagine an angry-looking white woman, and there's this petition for Miss Morrow to be fired. From MSNBC, and over 104,598 people have signed this petition. It's at colorofchange.org. And in fact, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to open up this chat and share this link with you guys in case you want to sign it. And so there you go. So there's I hope you guys can see the link. I'm trying out the software, but let me know if you guys are able to see it. So Allison Morrow, or Morris, I think that's her name, who's now, sort of officially, arguably the most hated white person in America and beyond, who's probably considered to be the dumbest journalist ever, is now trying to backpedal her way out of, what everybody heard, right? She's trying to basically say that, that she wasn't saying the N word. She was actually saying, mixing the words Knicks and Lakers together, and she got the word Nakers. Now, I say we go ahead and just, I would like to call a meeting of the Council of Intelligent Black People, and today on trial we have Miss Allison Morris, aka MSNBC Becky, who is now pleading her case to the American public. Now that her career has been pretty much destroyed. I don't know. Give me a yes or no if you would actually hire her or not. And she's basically saying that she wasn't trying to say the N word. She was basically trying to mix the word Knicks and Lakers, and she claims that she got Nakers. So let me ask you guys this. I'm gonna ask you guys just a yes or no question. Do you believe her? Yes or no? Do you believe that that it was really a slip of the tongue and that she really said Nakers? Or do you believe that even if it was a slip of the tongue, that she was, that it was a Freudian slip and she was saying a word that's much, much worse than Nakers? What do you think? Okay, I'm looking at Nita. Nita says, I went back and listened. It did sound like she said makers. Okay, here Eris Roxy says no, she was thinking about it and said it. Let's see here, but even that sounds too close to the N word, says Ketty. LaShawn says she's lying. Okay, I see a hell no. I see not acceptable. Nope. All right. Okay, so let me give you guys some information here. Okay, so I don't know much about this lady other than the fact that she's probably, taking all of her meds this week because Becky's have a hard time like adjusting to stress and trauma and stuff. Like they're not strong like black women. Like black women can endure anything, whereas white women like they'll buckle like you. I don't know. You look at them, you tell them that they're pretty and they're traumatized for life, and they want to like call the Me Too police on you and stuff like that. So they're kind of fragile, right? You got to be kind of careful with them. And so what I did was I actually did a survey, and I actually asked you guys what you thought if you believed her. And the question I asked was, I said, Allison Morris of MSNBC appeared to use the N-word when describing Kobe Bryant's death. Since that time, Morris says that the slip of the tongue was due to the mixing of the words Knicks and Lakers and saying Nakers. Do you believe her explanation? 89% of you said no. I'm sure a lot of you said hell no. I see your comments in here. 11% of you said yes, I believe her, and those are what I might call the optimistic black people. Those are the ones who I think still have hope and faith that white folks are gonna stop acting white. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to vote with the majority, not to say that she deliberately said the N-word, but I believe that it was what they call a Freudian slip. Now, give me a yes or no if you know what a Freudian slip is, or if you've heard that term before. I'll explain it to you real quick, just, for those of you that are curious. A Freudian slip is basically when you're thinking one thing you're thinking something and you're not trying to say it, but you end up saying it. It's like you're thinking something and you're not trying to say it, but you end up saying it. So, if I don't know, let's say that I really, really want to eat pizza and you're about to serve chicken, but I really want pizza, but I'm pretending like I want chicken, but actually I want pizza. So what I might say is, so you might say, oh, come on, Boyce, it's time to eat. And I say, oh, okay, is the pizza ready? Right? Because I'm thinking about pizza, right? And I'll be like, oh, I mean the chicken, right? So I think that it was a Freudian slip, but here's the thing. You guys have seen sort of the feminazis that have really been going at Kobe Bryant since he died. They, of course, they're out like, we're glad he's gone and he's a rapist, blah, 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 whatever, all the stuff that they say. Black men ain't got to be convicted of nothing for people to believe that he's guilty. And I really kind of think that given the nature of MSNBC, the way MSNBC does their reporting, I wouldn't be surprised if she hates the living shit out of Kobe Bryant. Like I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't like him. And I believe it could be for that reason. I believe that it was a Freudian slip in the sense of her feeling like this guy, this son of a bitch, blah, 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 blah. Now, I think that the fact that she appeared to use the N-word, that's a little bit confusing, but it's not out of the question. It's not as if nobody uses that term. I remember one time I worked with this little white girl. Now this is a long time ago though. This was back when I was actually still in high school. So maybe I assume some things have changed since then. A lot of things have changed since then. So we can't apply it directly. But again, I told you guys, white folks ain't never gonna stop being white. That's just real. And I remember this white girl, and she had a black boyfriend. She said I was talking to her, and we were back working in the back of the Taco Bell, and that was where I met my daughter's mother, and that was where she got pregnant and stuff. So don't stay away from Taco Bells; they'll get you in trouble. And we're sitting back there, we're stirring the taco meat, which sounds kind of weird, but we were stirring the meat for the tacos. And she's telling me about her family, right? And I'm asking, I'm like, oh, so she's telling me about her brother and her sister, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, my brother went to prison. And I said, well, what did your brother go to prison for? She said, oh, he killed a nigger. So, you can hear the record screeching off of you can hear the record player, like the needle screeching off the record, like, what did you say? And she said, he killed a nigger. Like she just said it like it wasn't nothing. Like she was telling me that it was 72 degrees outside. Like she was really telling me this, like, and had no idea that I was going to be offended. She had no idea. So you couldn't be mad at her, because I'm sitting there thinking, wow, like I'm twice as big as you. I could knock the shit out of you right now. and you're not even aware of that. You don't care because you really think I'm your friend, and you just said it. And so what I had to say to her was, I said, you do know that that's an offensive word, right? And she said, it is. I said, yeah. And she said, well, where I come from, that's what we just called the black people. She said, that's just what we said. And so, mind you, the world has changed, right? In certain ways. Some ways it's changed, but not completely. But here's the thing. You're only a few years removed, right? From, in terms of when that happened, that incident occurred today, right? I mean, people like her are, their children are the ones who are in college now, during the whole, Trump revolution, right? They're, her and her family members are the MAGA hat wearing white folks and stuff like that. And so it's not as if that sort of racism isn't very real and very prevalent. And also, they say that most racism is actually subconscious. It seeps into your subconscious mind. So a lot of racist people who are afraid of black people, who hate black people, who would normally be the ones to call black people out of our name, are actually, people who are completely unaware of the racism that they have. They're completely unaware of the way they view black people. Like they but if you point it out, like you can look at them and you say, okay, how come when the white guy does it, you get a little upset, but when the black guy does it, you want to show up at his house and kill him, right? How come, when Bill Cosby's accused of something, you're outraged about it, but when Bill Clinton was doing the same shit, y'all ain't got nothing to say about it, right? Bill Clinton, if you think about it, I mean, let's just keep it 100. Bill Clinton is kind of just the white Bill Cosby. Bill Clinton is not that much different from Cosby. They hung out together. They went to the same parties. They did all the same stuff together. So why do we treat one case differently from the other? Now, some of you said I disappeared. The picture went away. I hope the audio did not go away. Let me know if you can still hear me and see me. Give me a yes or no if you can hear me or see me. I know my video went away. I brought it right back. So I apologize for that. Thank you guys for, it looked like it went away again. I don't know what the hell's going on. Sorry about that. But I hope you guys can at least hear me. If you can hear me, okay, let me know. So anyway, so the petition, if you go to the real Boyce Watkins on Instagram, I'll put the link to the petition up there. And I'll try to put it in my bio. I wonder if I can do that. Actually, scratch that. I'll put it on Twitter. If you go to my Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. That's Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. If you want to sign the petition, you can certainly do that. If you also have a thought on this issue, etc., feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. And I do actually read your comments. I've been reading a lot of your comments about the Kobe Bryant situation since it happened. And I really think that there are a lot of interesting conversations that have sparked up. And in fact, actually, those of you who, I'm going to put a post on my Patreon, actually, which is at intelligentblackpeople.com. And if you put a comment or a question in the Patreon, I will answer your question in the next video. So I'm gonna put it in there right now. So it's at intelligentblackpeople.com. So let me see here. Any Kobe Bryant questions you want me to address? Okay. All right. Put your question below and I will address in the next podcast. So I'll put it out there. So feel free to go to intelligentblackpeople.com and put your question in there. And I'm going to leave this up on my screen so that tomorrow I'll see your questions when I first come in. And also it'll give us a chance to kind of dig deeper into some of this. And one thing I kind of want you guys to consider is this, I read today, I mean, in the midst of all the sadness that many of us are feeling for Kobe Bryant and his family, the first thing I honestly thought about was the fact that he wasn't on that helicopter by himself, right? There were 9 other people, or I think 9 people total on the helicopter. And I definitely, wanted to make sure we did not forget about those people. Now somebody says your Twitter account has been suspended. I don't think my Twitter account's been suspended. It's Dr. Boyce Watkins 1, Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. So try to, let me see. I don't know. Have I been suspended from Twitter? If I have, that would be a compliment because Farrakhan got suspended. So, okay, I'm not as great as Farrakhan. No, it's still up. I'm looking at it right now. It's Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. But, the thing about it is that I was reading about Chicago, and I don't know if you guys know, but just yesterday, I think 13 people got shot in Chicago, and I think 2 of them died. So I kind of encourage you guys remember Kobe, of course. I mean, Kobe deserves to be remembered. He was a great athlete, but also remember that there are a lot of our people that are in the struggle. There are a lot of families that are struggling in silence. There are a lot of Black folks that are going through hell. And I just don't want us to get so caught up in celebrity worship, which is what we kind of do, honestly, that you forget about all your people that are really going through it, and so because I mean, let's just keep it 100. Like if I was talking about Kobe 3 days ago, you guys would have probably had a different conversation about Kobe than you're having right now. I think that you would have probably been quicker to point out some things that I won't talk about than you are right now. But there's something sacred about the dead, which is fine. He deserves that because he's a great man, and I respect that. But but at the same time, I have a policy of not appreciating people anymore, any less when they're gone than they were when they were here. So find your loved ones and give them their flowers while they're alive. And also when it comes to this thing with Kobe, I think I think it's very important to just remember, there are a lot of folks in our communities that are being killed every day, and we can't cry for all of them. I know that it's difficult, but I think at the same time, we can't forget them either. So that's just my 2 cents. I'm about to go to bed. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we go live. Also, intelligentblackpeople.com is where you can actually become a patron, join our League of Intelligent Black People. You support the channel, and also you get free invitations to private VIP sessions where I'll answer your questions and talk to you guys, where you can actually ask me financial questions and stuff like that. So thank you, Sister Amma, for telling me that my audio is good. I got me a microphone, so hopefully that would help because I was playing it through my computer. It wasn't doing very well. So, all right. So the Council of Intelligent Black People meeting is adjourned, and the decision has been made. The verdict is that Allison Morris is guilty. You are guilty, ma'am. Guilty is charged. You do not deserve to have a job at MSNBC because you apparently are a person who cannot avoid making epic fuck ups. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.